Hello, my name's Robin Lambert, I'm 19 years old and living with cerebral palsy, but you guys know me as the T-Rex, and you're watching My T-Rex Life. Okay guys, today I want to talk about the new advert released by Channel 4, who are the Paralympic broadcaster for England, the Superhumans, the Yes I Can music video. This is a video that has caused a lot of controversy within the disabled community because some people have absolutely loved it, and some people seem to absolutely hate it. So today I want to talk about why I see this division within the disabled community. Before you continue with this video, if you haven't already seen the Superhumans trailer, there will be a link in the description. Please go check it out before continuing with this video. Now, I think we're seeing so much division because the disabled community is so large and so broad, and it encompasses so many different things, and people are, disabled in so many different ways, and they're each going to have a unique experience as a person with a disability, but also, depending on how they are disabled, they are going to have differing experiences and ideas and perceptions of the disabled identity to others. For me, there's sort of, 5 categories which people fall into within the disabled community. That is, having congenital disabilities, having acquired disabilities, being disabled through chronic illness, and intellectual and those kind of disabilities too. And like I said, while everyone's in those groups are not going to be exactly the same, they are going to have similar experiences which are going to differ from those outside of that group who are also disabled. So I think that's where it comes down to this division, and why we see so much debate around these things, and why some people are so thoroughly for them and so thoroughly against them. I think when it comes to congenital disability, which is what I have, cerebral palsy, I've had it from birth. And I just want to note that not everyone who has a congenital disability, or not everyone who has a chronic illness or whatever, is going to feel this way, and there are going to be people who go against that grain. I'm kind of just talking generally from what I've experienced as a disabled person, and through knowing a lot of disabled people and having those discussions and conversations. I think, when it comes to congenital disabilities, a lot of us are fighting to be seen as able and capable, because from the minute we are born, we or our families are told we are incapable. From my personal experience, the doctors told me when I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, or the other disability that I had, that I was likely never going to walk, and I was likely never going to attend school full time. So really they were already putting limits on me before I'd even had an opportunity to grow and to, see what I was really capable of. And all the way through primary school and into high school, and now in my adult life, I'm constantly being told by people that I can't do things, even though I know that I can. And also, people's perceptions, I can tell people see me as something that they should pity because I am incapable, or I am suffering, or whatever, which is not the case for me. So I think this is why, people with congenital disabilities like cerebral palsy, like spina bifida, like limb deficiency, we are so often trying to fight to be seen as able, and we are so sort of pro that no limits kind of message if we are given the opportunity, and if we receive the right kind of help from the outside, and we improve accessibility and those kind of things. And then you've got people who are disabled through chronic illness, who, from what I've seen, are constantly fighting to be recognized as being disabled. Because a lot of chronic illnesses are invisible illnesses, they're fighting to just be seen as, having struggles and having challenges and being sick, which, for someone who has a congenital disability, we're more often than not ill. We're not sick, we just have physical impairment, which again is not true for everyone. Some people are going to have congenital disabilities which make them sick, or, or there is some kind of illness attached to it, but I think in general, people with congenital disabilities don't have that. So because they're fighting to be seen as disabled and fighting to be seen as having, an illness and a chronic condition, their focus is not going to be on the yes I can message, because there is so much going against them, and physically they often can't, even with sort of adaptations that might make it easier for people with congenital disabilities. And then you have people with acquired disability, which obviously in the first instance will most likely go through some kind of mourning for what they've lost, which I suppose is the same in some cases for chronic illness. You've known what life is like without a disability, and you've experienced being able-bodied. So there is that sense of mourning and loss for what you've had, and recognizing that people are going to treat you differently, and that being kind of frustrating. And then you see some people with acquired disability accept that, and that's it, whereas some people with acquired disability sort of, they do feed into that, you know, wanting to overcome and getting almost a new lease on life through their disability, and wanting to show people that they are still capable and they still can, again, given the right circumstances. So I think that is why there is so much division, and I do, you know, accept that we share a commonality in that we face discrimination, and we are held back by people's prejudice and people's lack of understanding and education when it comes to things like accessibility, and we're all really fighting for that kind of access. But I think in some instances that's where the commonality finishes, and that's why we need to have more education on the spectrum of disability and how these different experiences might influence someone's perception of disability, and, you know, how they perceive themselves as a disabled person and their idea of the disabled identity, and how they might want to be represented differently from another disabled person. And, you know, in some cases that's why I think we need to be aware of those separations, so that we can sort of highlight the different challenges that people face as a disabled person, and we can, you know, represent them the way that they would want to be seen. So anyway guys, let me know your comments down in the comment section down below. I know this was a long video, but there was quite a lot to get through. Let me know if you see a division in the disabled community and how you think we can either fix that, or whether you think that's fine, and how we can highlight the different aspects of it. And yeah, most importantly guys, remember to stay shiny, because I love you.